Welcome to SVG-TV's news for Wednesday, April 20th, 2016. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. One of the hallmarks of any nation is how they take care of the children, elderly and poor. This was stated by Minister of National Mobilization, Social Development, Gender and Youth Affairs, Frederick Stevenson, as the ministry with the United Nations International Children Emergency Fund launched the Child Protection Policy Framework for St. Vincent and the Grenadines at the NIS Conference Room. Minister Stevenson says the framework was as a result of a nationwide consultation and forms part of his government's commitment to the protection of the nation's children. Stevenson expressed confidence that the framework will go a long way in the protection of the nation's children.
This policy, the St. Vincent and the Grenadines National Child Protection Policy, hopes to provide a macro-based legal and social protection strategy aimed at strengthening national protection system, supporting social change, promoting child protection in conflict and natural disasters, building evidence and knowledge management, and convening as well as a catalyst agent of change. So we're hoping what we do here this morning and what we have done yesterday with the Children's Conference would be able to help us to get the necessary reporting of cases of child abuse in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and for further protection of our nation's children.
Minister Stevenson encouraged civil servants and all other stakeholders to work hard and utilize the policy guidelines to help protect the nation's children.
Because there are too many things outside there that is happening that the persons who are responsible for doing it are not doing. You listen to the Prime Minister in his budget and his address recently, that the civil servants are called upon to do more. Despite the challenging and hard times, we have to work harder and we have to work smarter. We have to help the nation. And one of the greatest hallmarks of any nation is how we take care of our children, we take care of the elderly and the poor among us.
Also speaking at the launch was the United Nations International Emergency Fund UNICEF's representative for Barbados and the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, OECS Clin Sandy Luen, who praised the efforts of the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the creation of the policy. Luen says she considers St. Vincent and the Grenadines a trailblazer in the area of child protection policy, noting that the nation is setting still an example for others to follow. She pointed out that the policy is consistent with the Convention on the Rights of the Child.
Policy to really become effective and practical to use, it must be clear, concise, and accessible to all those it relates to. The most effective policies are those which have been developed using a participative approach. And I have been advised that the national policy was developed on this basis. So today is but another round of a consultation, making it more widely known and through you and the media to the general public throughout the chain of islands of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. For the more involved people who are in this process, most likely all of you in this hall, the more likely they are to understand and use it effectively, the more effective it will be.
Teachers here are being advised not to get caught up in party politics, which can tarnish their work and operation of their union. This advice from President of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Teachers Union, Oswald Robinson, at a media conference yesterday. Robinson stresses the need to have members of the union and more so all educators committed and loyal to the work of the union, noting that it is the only way they can move forward and be a force to be reckoned with.
As a trade union, it's politics, because you're talking about socioeconomic justice. Any organization that stands up to represent people, that's politics. When you talk about wages and working conditions, that's politics. You see? So we are expecting that this union would continue to move upward, to become a mighty force to reckon with. We have already built on that foundation over the last 2 years. We are not going to go backward, we are going forward. And that is why today, us installing an industrial relations officer, and because of the critical role he has to play, is an individual, is a post that would help this union to realize higher heights.
In reference to the collective agreement signed between the SVG-TU and the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Robinson maintains that despite some hiccups, the signed document is still valid and binding.
We're only having an opinion on Article 16, which is the election leave, but everything else is intact. It is left to the government to honor what is assigned. We haven't had a new one. We started negotiations, but because of that court matter, it was put on a halt because the government didn't want to sign. They want to remove that article. And we were adamant that we are not going to remove it because that is more or less impinging on one of our fundamental rights and freedom. So that matter is going forward. So that again might impinge on us signing the collective agreement. But we have more or less completed the process. But that was a major issue.
The Bethel High School is celebrating 40 years of existence. Delivering congratulatory remarks at a ceremony held on Monday at the school, Chief Education Officer Luan Gilchrist says this is another great accomplishment for education here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, considering the number of students to have passed through the institution over the years and have gone on to make valuable contributions in all areas of development. Gilchrist said achieving 40 years of existence is no small accomplishment, but took years of dedication and hard work to transform and uplift the institution to present-day status.
So as you reflect on the accomplishments of those who came before you, your predecessors, please think of the benefits which you ought to derive from being attentive, from being diligent as students, and think of your successors. Think of those who are to come following you, and think of the legacy which you will need to leave for them. The models of good behavior which you must leave for your successors so that they can emulate and that they can continue to build this community and continue to build our nation as a whole.
Gilchrist further encouraged the students to place themselves in position to benefit from all the investments of time and money and the many sacrifices made for their educational empowerment so that they can reach the highest academic levels possible.
Students, this is all in your honor, this is all for you. Please position yourselves well to benefit from all of the investments which are being made in you, financial investments, personal investments, investments of time, the sacrifices which are being made on your behalf. Position yourselves to benefit from the bounty and the abundance of God and from what your teachers are offering you. We do this all for you. So as I close, congratulations, staff, students, parents, and may God continue to bless you as you strive for excellence and as you thrive where you are with the gifts that God has so freely bestowed upon you.
Principal of the Bethel High School, Miriam Pompey, told SVG-TV News that from joining the staff in 1999, where the BHS had a reputation of having very deviant students, to one that is recognized throughout the country for their many accomplishments in music and sports, she is very happy to have been a part of the change. Pompey says she hopes that the school will continue to accomplish even greater feats in the future.
There were many gang wars in the school, and a time when parents had a negative stigma was attached to the school. Since then we have made a lot of strides, and I want to especially mention the past principals, Mr. F.I. Jack, Ms. Sylvia Finley, and Mr. Wendell Edwards. They made a significant contribution towards the development of the school. And I'm proud to say that this school, the Bethel High School, is one of the top leading schools in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Pompey noted there are plans to improve the pass rate and the number of subjects taken by students at the CSEC level, noting that over the years the school has been fluctuating in the pass rate at these exams. She, however, noted that overall the school has been doing great, where students enter without basic numeracy and literacy skills and leave prepared to contribute to St. Vincent's development.
We are hoping that in the not too distant future that we will be able to climb the ladder and we will get to at least a pass rate of 80%. This, however, although we are not one of the top schools in the academics, it is important to note that many of our students who come here at the first form level come without the basic literacy and numeracy skills. And even though they may not achieve, after their stint here, they may not have achieved 11 and 12 subjects, we are proud to say that we would have added value to their life and we would have prepared them to contribute to the development of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
And SVG-TV News learned that children and teachers at the Bukument Bay Secondary School had to be sent home earlier than usual today after a number of them fell sick and had to seek medical attention. We understand the symptoms include coughing and asthma attacks. The police later told SVG-TV News that a fire which was lit in the vicinity of the school to burn garbage may have triggered the symptoms experienced by some of the students and teachers, and that the necessary investigations are being conducted. We also understand that tomorrow there will be no school at the Bukument Bay Secondary School. Minister of Agriculture, Saboto Caesar, says having a well-planned and structured land bank is one of the issues SVG has been grappling with for many years. And as part of his ministry's 100-day 20-points plan, they will be looking to ensure that farmers obtain a land suitable for the crop which they seek to plant.
If we want to advance the agriculture sector, we have to ensure that young farmers who are getting into agriculture and farmers who want to expand their production, that they get the right lands. Currently, as we speak, I know that we have signed a memorandum of understanding with the Shenton group of companies from the United Kingdom to establish a coffee industry here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We have been in touch with the technicians, the senior technicians of the Forestry Division and also the Ministry of Lands, because it's very important that we get the appropriate geographical areas, because it's going to impact on us harnessing this possibility of planting coffee here in this country.
In the area of fisheries, Minister Caesar says that the decision to privatize the fisheries centers were made in 2015, and his ministry aims at continuing the privatization of fisheries facilities throughout SVG. He says this forms part of the ministry's plan to push SVG forward into a competitive fish industry.
I know that OEA is already in operation, and very soon there is going to be a launch of a particular project addressing the issue of the privatization of the Kingston fish market and the way forward. That is expected to be unfolded in the next 100 days. However, what the plan articulates is how are we going to bring greater throughput of fish and fish products to the Kingston fish market in particular. Already we are drafting a document. In this document is a comparative analysis of the cost to land fish in St. Lucia, in Grenada, and in Trinidad and Tobago. And it is the quest of the ministry to ensure that we have a package that is extremely competitive and would allow us to enter into the market.
Speaking on point 6 of his ministry's 20-point plan, Minister Caesar says his ministry aims at working with the Zero Hunger Trust Committee to build the capacity of vulnerable persons to give them tools for self-empowerment and independence.
But I want to note this, that the Zero Hunger program, and it is noted in the plan at point 6, we are to ensure that our food production systems make food more affordable and accessible, and the Zero Hunger program must be a sustainable exercise addressing the critical issues of self-empowerment and independence. So wherever someone is vulnerable and falls into the category that we are addressing, but they are physically capable, we have to ensure that we do not create a dependency attitude, but that we give them the tools so that they can empower themselves and also operate in an atmosphere of independence.
Government officials, along with other dignitaries and civil servants, gathered at the Prime Minister's official residence last Saturday evening for a cocktail reception to show appreciation for the work and contributions of 5 retired government officials. They are former Speaker of the House, Hendrik Alexander, former parliamentary representative for Central Leeward and Minister of National Reconciliation, Maxwell Charles, former Minister of Health, Wellness and the Environment, and MP for East St. George, Clayton Bergin, former Minister of Education, and the first female Deputy Prime Minister, Gerlin Miguel, and this nation's longest serving parliamentarian, Sir Vincent Beach. Speaking at the ceremony, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves says he was pleased to have to work with the 5 outstanding figures whom he says have given of themselves selflessly to the country even before their political involvement.
Large gathering speaks volumes of the extent of the appreciation for the fantastic work which our esteemed citizens have done on behalf of the government and people of St. Vincent and Grenadines. You have heard me talking all the time about the necessity and desirability of the party to have a successor to Ralph, because all of us, we have our roles, but then we have to move on and take other roles. All our former parliamentarians, cabinet ministers, either they're doing things for this in the state administration in one way or the other, or we are looking for roles, places for them to give of their knowledge and their experience. I know that they will continue to be active in different areas, but this is the end of their, well, at least for the time being, the formal political role.
The 5 honorees took the opportunity to express their gratitude towards the government, civil servants, their supporters, and the entire Vincentian public as they shared some of their experiences and their accomplishments.
But for this gigantic effort to bring us all here to show appreciation for what has been done. I believe once you're in politics, you never get out. My one desire so far is not only to see the completion of the Argyle International Airport, but at least to land in it or take off in it once.
In the infant section we say, please, thank you, and excuse me. I have the nicest words to say. Say them once, say them twice. You will like to talk that way. And tonight I am talking that way by saying, thank you from the depth of my heart. My shortcomings, with all my weaknesses, the people of Mariacoa continue to say yes to me. I would have done 50 years of public service from age 17 until now.
I tried my best, and I think I would have probably gained a pass mark in all the ministries that I would have answered. But my greatest achievement, I have achieved a lot, but my greatest achievement is to bring and to establish universal secondary education to St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
I have enjoyed working with the party and the confidence that was placed in me 2010 to 2015. And I thank the party very much. I must also take the opportunity to thank the people of Central Leeward who supported me during those 5 years. I really enjoyed working with them and for them. And during that time I've learned a lot, and I can only say thank you and thank you very much.
It was a period of my life I really enjoyed. And as I said at the last, when they had that little celebration for me, I was beginning to feel that I'm a career speaker. And I could be appointed as speaker anywhere I go, you know, because it's something that I really enjoyed. It had its challenges, everybody knows about those. But I weathered the storm, and it would appear that I did something good out of that.
In other news, the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College Division of Technical Education held an exhibition of customized handmade home models created by some of the students earlier today. The motto of this project is entitled Imagine to Design, Build to Believe. The head of the SVGCC's engineering department, Kenroy Kittels, says the showcase not only gives the students the opportunity to show off their talent, but it is a perfect venue for them to market themselves to the industrial business community.
Model exhibition with the students of the construction, architecture and building construction program. As part of their program, they're required to do models of buildings. We want them to be able to function in the growing building industry out there. And so we're going to send them out to employers, and we are trying to equip them with the necessary skills in creativity and the like in terms of buildings.
The program coordinator and lecturer Joycelyn Lewis appeals to businesses involved in construction to give the students who will soon be seeking employment an opportunity to harness their skills.
This exhibition was geared towards mainly exposure for the students. They are very talented, very dedicated, very creative, and we wanted everybody to see that. We wanted industry, we wanted even this school to see it, because a lot of the times we don't take the time to pinpoint positive things, and this is very positive. This is good for the students and good for the community, and we would like industry to help us. We started their development, and we would like you to take them from now on. Allow them to grow with you. They have an attachment period, and we would like more businesses to come forward and take on these students.
The students, who are equally proud of their work, took the opportunity to share with us more on their designs.
My name is Alyssa Drag. To build this model, I used foam board because it was more easier to work with. Cardboard for the galvanize. As you can see here in the roof, it has the rafters like a normal roof would have.
My name is Andrew Mackenzie. My house is made of foam board. The roof was made of corrugated plastic, rafters from the popsicle sticks. The model was detailed inside and out.
My name is Tishon King. In 4C, we have done some walk-in drawings. These are not just random drawings. These are drawings that can walk in real life, that we have scaled down so that we can give an actual look as into how the houses would look when it is completed. For the rafters, I use actual timber for my rafters, for my common rafters, hip rafters. For my galvanized, I use cardboard because it has the groove as actual galvanized.